wonderful opportunity for me. Thank you for providing this opportunity. I am Professor Awadhesh, Department of Botany, and it's my pleasure and proud moment to present this ethnomedicinal study of medicinal plants used by the different tribes in the Mizoram. So, in this fifth annual Congress on the Plant Science and the Biosecurity, it's a very important event to show these findings of this tribal medicine at the global level. So in this first, I want to just tell you all, once this human populations were started, you can say the colonization. That time, before that, the people, it's a trial and error method, they established this particular, you can say this tribal medicine, or you can say the herbal medicines, which is known as traditional medicine or ethnomedicine. Okay, so once the people they started colonization, then it started, you can say, domestication of the plants, and from there they came to know. First, they started, you can say, for the, you can say, the food. After that, once they feel kind of, you can say, their illness and some kind of the wounds and all, they started, you can say, that practicing this medicinal means the plants as the form of the medicine. Okay. So in that, traditional medicine is the important and often underestimated part of the health services. According to the WHO, we know then traditional medicine is the sum total of the knowledge, skill, and practices based on the theories, beliefs, and experiences to the different cultures, whether explicable or not, used in the maintenance of the health as well as in the prevention, diagnosis, improvement, or the treatment of the physical and mental illness. Moreover, even the WHO further emphasized that the importance of the traditional indigenous medicine, since a large majority of the rural people in the developing countries still use these medicines as the first defense in the healthcare. So on the basis of that, this, if I'll just look back to the, you can say the Indian knowledge system, and parallelly we can say the tribal herbal medicine. The Indian knowledge system is a rich and diverse collection of the knowledge, beliefs, and the practices developed over thousands of the years in the Indian subcontinent. It is rooted in the ancient texts of the Vedas, Upanishads, and the Puranas, and has evolved through the contributions of the various civilizations and culture. One of the key characteristics of the Indian knowledge system is its emphasis on the interconnectedness and interdependence of all beings and the universe. This is reflected in the Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, that concept, or the whole world is one family. And even now it is popularly, you can say, popularized by the Indian government also. Ayurveda, the traditional system of the medicine, has been a vital part of the Indian knowledge system of the centuries. In the ancient Vedas, like Ayurvedic practices and the benefits of the natural remedies are mentioned. Along with the Ayurveda, there are the other traditional medicine practices in the India, such as like yoga, siddha, homeopathy, and Unani. And all these is scattered, you can say, the branches. Now the government of India, they made one Ministry of Ayush. Apart from that, these tribal herbal medicines that have been passed down through the generations and have stood the test of the time. The use of the herbal, you can say, the natural medicine, if you just look it, then on the basis of that, our old, you can say, the science, they written this Charak Samhita and Sushra Samhita, where they compiled, you can say, the 700 herbs for the medicinal purposes. And today, if you just look at this different kinds of, you can say, the medicinal plant, which is compiled in the form of, you can say, Ayurvedic medicine, that is the 700, in the Siddha.
Sorry for the interruption.
Sir.
Dr. Awadhesh Kumar.
Yes, sir.
Are you moving the slides, or you are just giving the introduction?
Yes. No, I'm just moving, sir. It is not moving?
No. This is only, we can see only the first slide.
Okay. So and now it is moving, sir.
And one small request, could you please consider the time?
Yeah, I'll go to the finding.
I can see around 117 slides. I'm not sure whether they are pictures or what, but
it's a lot of
it could be great if you could close your presentation within prescribed time. You can
yes, I'll do, sir. I'll do.
You can take up 5 minutes more, but at least try to finish it by 25 minutes.
Okay, I'll do, sir. Definitely, I'll do on time.
Well, and just have a look on the slides whether they're moving or not.
Please, sir.
Thank you.
Just, it's moving now?
Yes, now it's moving.
Okay, so in this overall, I can say like the Ayurveda, Siddha, Unani, allopathy, and you can say according to all these compilation over the people, they estimated 17,000 species of the medicinal plant. From there, we are using only the 3,000 species for the medicinal purposes. And if you just consider here, like the herbal medicine, even in the Europe, the place where you are is like situating there, like in 2023, that herbal medicine in the Europe itself, it was did the marketing of 96.98 billion, and in 2024 it was 103.84 billion. And if you just look here again in this, then in year you can say by 2025 it is dollar 251.25 billion, and they targeted by 2030 is 32 is dollar 437 billion. So overall I can say this herbal medicines day by day it is increasing, and that's why you can say now the most of the even the developed countries, I can say they are practicing more herbal medicines comparing to the developed countries. So in my study I chosen this, you can say the northeast in the India, which is known as the tribal states, and more it is because of, you can say, more ethnicity, more indigenous, you can say, the different tribes which is living in this particular region. So if you just look at here, the more than 250 tribes in the different, you can say, the ethnic groups which speak more than 200 dialects, and they preserving lot of, you can say, the traditional knowledges in the form of, you can say, the flora and the fauna. So after you can say looking this the source of, you can say, the ITK, on the basis of these above points, that this Indian traditional knowledges which is compiled, means these all informations which is gathered by the farmers, the community leaders, elder persons, folklore songs and poetry, ancient records, NGOs, extension agencies, and published materials of the different languages. So these are the main informations where the this traditional knowledge is available. So basis of that, if you go to, you can say, collect this traditional knowledges. So these are the important, you can say, the you can say the study area by which we can collect this information, like interaction with the community leaders or the elders, rapid, you can say, the rural appraisal, case study, key informant method, history like archaeological study and all, interview method, participant observations, brainstorming, games, group discussion, field observation, and the different surveys. So based on this, if you just look at here, the different kinds of, you can say, the traditional knowledge where ethnomedicine is occupying highest, you can say, the percentage for their utilization in the different kinds of, you can say, the elements. Okay, so here the ethnomedicine, the people they are using in the northeast in the various, you can say, the curing the different diseases. But why this ethnomedicine, why this, you can say, the tribal medicine, this survey is very important, because this today, now if you just look at most of the, you can say, the journals which are publishing this information, where the superficial informations are there, repetitive informations are there, lack of the critical literature analysis, the people they are not doing, lack of the cross culture ethnobotanical study, that also they are not doing, wrong identification, most of the, you can say, the plants, if you just look at, even I'm just quoting, even in the journal of ethnopharmacology, I have found lot of the plants which is wrong identification, botanically, scientifically, it is not, you can say, the correct the plant nomenclature. And the lack of interdisciplinary research collaboration, the people they are not collaborating, because most of the research institute, they are situating in the developed, you can say, the places, sitting in the very advanced countries, advanced cities, but from that, you can say, the published data, they are just getting that, you can say, the plant, but they are not, you can say, doing this different, you can say, the activities, the place where there it is reported. So here I'm just giving one information, like here in the first picture, once you just look at where the highlighted, the resolution is very high in this the picture, the same picture, the same information, the people they just copying paste in the different form of the, you can say, the paper, where only this just change the alignment and the figure, means the photograph of the plant, but the information is same. The people they are just copying and paste that information by changing the orientation of the photos and the picture of the plants. So in this way, the novelty may never, if you just look at this ethnomedicinal practices, wherever the people they're doing, it's a very different, very task, you can say, means a hard work, where they're bringing these novelties from doing the survey on the ground level. So once we'll do this kind of the survey, then we'll bring the novelty to the society. And most of the people, where I already said that you can say they are not doing the proper identification. And why it was necessary, because here I'm just showing you this kind of the mushroom, already some mushrooms, this colored mushroom, the, you can say, the Mizo tribes, they're taking from the forest. But once if they, you can say, collecting the young generation, especially they know their you can say their parents or their elders, they're collecting for the forest, but they collecting the sometimes on the basis of the color, they're collecting the wrong, you can say the mushroom, which is the poisonous. And in this ground, I'm just telling you here, the one casualty it was happened, and in one family, the three people were died. Okay, so this ethno, you can say the like ethno mushrooms also, that is very important. On the basis of, you can say the morphology, you can't just simply say this particular, you can say the mushroom is edible. We have to go in the very proper way with the 4, 5 times, 10 times with the elders, how they're collecting and which ground they're collecting this edible mushroom. So on that ground, we have to collect it. So in this way, this Northeast tribes, they have very good, you can say the information which is passing through generation to generation, and they are making the different kinds of decoction and they giving to their peasants. So on basis of that, we made this survey, and where you can say we made the semi-structured questionnaires. In that, you can say we introduce like the different kinds of the detail of the respondent, botanical name, local or vernacular name, family, habitat, parts used, purpose for which it is used, form in which use, methods of the preparation, single mixture, if any other, like the different kinds of, you can say, I can just show. And the secondary information which is published with the Botanical Survey of India, and the other, you can say, the Ministry of Ayush, which is published from as in the form, you can say the medicine. So different kinds of, you can say the things we you can say considered for secondary information to identify and you can say give the proper identification of the our medicinal plants. So here this is the question, means questionnaire what we made. So in that, like everything we included, these are the different kinds of, you can say, the questions we asked to our respondents, where like even if they are going to the doctors, and what kind of the medicines they prescribe, how much they are you can say like means oftenly they are going to the doctors, or maybe occasionally how they are, you can say, in the form of the fresh, dried, or means whatever, means the medicines, the syrup or maybe the capsule, or even in the plants, then in that case like the fresh, dried. So different kinds of the things we added. And even if they are purchasing some kind of the herbal formulations that given by the local ved, so in that way how much rupees, means they are you can say the expenditure for that medicines also. So these all, you can say, the questions we incorporated in our questionnaire. So this study we did, especially, you can say, I'm just showing here the prominent, you can say, the area where the tribal medicines is very high. This is the, you can say, the border to the Burma also, that is the Champai district in the Mizoram. There in this demonstration, like what we can did, we did the socioeconomic information on the informant, including like the age, sex, educational level, and occupation. In that we conducted, you can say, more than the 200 people, in which 12 to 14 individuals from each village. In that, the age is including from 18 to 70 years, and in that 102 the male and 82 were the females, where you can say the respondents were there. Okay, so these are the, you can say, the methods we quantitative analysis we did, like frequency of the citation, use value, informant consensus factor, relative importance, and the considered value. So all, you can say, the statistics we did it for calculation of this, you can say, the survey report. So in this survey report, we gone in the different, you can say, the places we did different kinds of the, you can say, the survey with the traditional healers, some elders, and how they are, you can say, practicing different kinds of the ethnomedicinal plants. So this, sometimes I'm just showing you here, the people sometimes they used to consider the survey is very easy part, but no, I'm just showing here. Sometimes we used to face difficult this kind of the situation in the remote area, where the people, they totally believe on this herbal medicines. So these all surveys, including my students, we made it, and we gone to the different places. We collected the different kinds of, you can say, the formulas with the herbal practitioners, those who practicing, and even this particular person, the Mr. He's honorary Dr. David, one agency from the Tamil Nadu in the India, he is given the honorary, you can say, the doctorate degree to this person, and the 10-bedded, you can say, the hospital in the Kaifong village of the Mizoram. Okay. So this, after that, we collected different kinds of the plants in the different parts of the, you can say, the Mizoram state here. Okay. And we collected different kinds of the formulations, which is using for the different purposes in this, in you can say, in the tribal population. Okay. So the different kinds of the formulations with the different plants. And here I'm just showing some of the plants, which is, you can say, the underutilized. And this tribal medicines means the people they are consuming, as well as they are making the different medicines. Like these are the plants. I'm just showing you here the picture. Just These are the different, you can say, the plants. Even apart from that, even the frogs, they are using for the different consumption, as well as making some different kinds of the medicine by the skin and the bones of these frogs. Okay, and this particular, you can say, the plant here, the Isolgia communis. And since we did, you can say, the barcoding, we are the first here in the India. We submitted the DNA barcoding of this particular plant here, the two varieties. And my friends, here I'm just want to tell you, this particular plant, even the 1 liter oil of this Isolgia communis, if you just Google it here, you will get 15 to 20,000 per liter this plant. And even the CMAP now is in the, I think maybe Dr. Deepika is also presented one paper here. She already elaborated about the CMAP. They are doing very good, you can say, the work on the aromatic plants on these things. So here, this other, you can say, ethnomedicinal plant, which is available in the market. We did all, you can say, the surveys and all. We collected different kinds of the ethnomedicinal plants. I'm just showing you here. Most of the people, they know, you can say, the butterfruit, avocado, but still this plant is underutilized plant, because it's a very, you can say, the available in the only the hilly area somewhere in the part of the globe at the global level. Okay, and most of in the Mizo family, you can say, the Mizo tribes, the people, means especially the ladies, they are using when they are pregnant. Okay, so this is very good for the ladies who's pregnant. Okay, so these are the plant, the people, they are using that for the different purposes. Okay, like this, or the plants I'm showing you here. Okay, this all plants. And this particular, you can say, the Lumbax centella asiatica, I think maybe the Thailand, Malaysian, Indonesian people, they are using, you can say, the as herbal tea for the aging, means you can say, means it's a very good for, you can say, controlling the age also. The people, they're telling, means the people's, if they continuously, you can say, consumption, means they looks young. So these are the plants. Okay, the people, they are using in the different purposes, different medicine. And here, this particular, you can say, this is still, this plant I have submitted to the BSI for identification. This particular plant, it is, you can say, using in the Burma, 800 to 1,000 rupees the people, they are selling, and it is known as pseudo ginseng in this Mizoram. So these are the plants we collected from this, you can say, the surveys, and my students, they all surveyed and all. These are the ethnic foods, means the different kinds of, you can say, the plants, they dried it and they mess it and they make the different kinds of the ethnic food. Especially this particular, you can say, the plant, the different kinds of the vegetables they are making, that is known as bai. Okay, and especially once the people outside from the state, if they coming to the Mizoram, the Mizo people, means the Mizo tribe, they very, you can say, lovely way they used to offer this particular, you can say, the dish to the plant. And it is very good. We already did the different kinds of the researches, and it is very good in the antioxidant. Here, one of the, you can say, the traditional healer, he is giving very, you can say, the good information about, you can say, this information here, especially this kind of the different medicinal plants. Okay, what he did in the rice alcohol, he means chopped it and mix it and put into the sunlight. After that, you can say here, the once he put into the sunlight, then it is converted into in this form. Once it will become, you can say, the brown in color, then after that he filter it and he's give to the, you can say, the different people. And what he revealed, that it helps in the cleaning the inside body, makes the body healthy, and helps in increasing the appetite. It also helps in purifying the blood, and also help in retain placenta while giving the birth. Applying these medicines help in reducing joint pain after long journey. Okay, the same way here also, one, you can say, the local salt, the people, they are making with the from the rocks and mixing with the, you can say, the curcuma species, and it is consumption used, you can say, the for 1 week in the help treating the cough and chest pain. So different kinds of the information we gathered, and we are doing in the, you can say, the different experimentals also, means that the scientific validation parallelly we are doing in our lab. So in this present study, 93 medicinal plant species belonging to the 53, you can say, the families, and 85 genera have been reported for treating various kinds of the ailments. The most prominent families were Euphorbiaceae with the 6 plant species, followed by Asteraceae and the 5 plant species from the other, you can say, the species among the Cucurbitaceae and Gingiberaceae. Apart from the other species like Liliaceae, Fabiaceae, Burmanaceae, Solanaceae, Rutaceae, Anacardiaceae, and Orchidaceae, Cambrataceae, Thiaceae, Apiaceae. So different kinds of the family also be reported, and which shows, you can say, the prominent, you can say, the potential. And among the, you can say, the users of the, you can say, the plant parts, the frequency it shows the highest, you can say, the plant, that is the herbs which is used, followed by, you can say, the trees, and you can say, the shrubs and the creeper. And if you just look the parts, then in that case, the leaf playing the very important, you can say, which is occupying 47%, followed by, you can say, like the fruit, and then after that, you can say, that bark and then the seed, and then after that rhizome, then stem, then whole plant, and even the essential oils they were using. And among that, you can say like, just look here, means that leaf, because it is, you can say, the easily available, because sometimes the flowers it is going to be like once or maybe in the flowering season only. So that's why the people they're relying on most of the leaves. So mode of the preparations of the, look at the most of the, you can say, the people they're making the different, you can say, the decoctions, which is, you can say, the 44%. Then after that they are making the paste, then in the form of raw material, the juice, powder, and others they are making in that way. Okay, so on basis of that we collected it, you can say that here I'm not going to just read all, but I'm just showing you. So in that way we just you can say identify the plants, the family name, local name, habitat, plant part use, mode of administration, then elements and the use report, frequency of citation, use value, then isolated chemical compounds which is already identified by the other people from the other plants, means the same plant, and the bioactivity which is reported by in the different, you can say, the authors from the different places, and the places where that our plant which is not, you can say, identified even any chemical compounds and no bioactivity which is reported, we just simply given like not reported. So in this way, report many plants we found it is not reported here. Number 10 also is not reported. So in this way, like I'm just showing all the different kinds of, even this 22, you can say the plants which is not showing any, you can say, the bioactive means the bioactive compounds which is identified by the any authors or any researchers. Okay, so in this way I'm just showing you all. Even 42 number here, again it is no specific any biochemical compounds identified by this particular plant. Then number 44 and 45 also, it is not reported for any activity, bioactive molecules and any activity from the any corner of the world. Then even 54 plant, 54 number also it is showing it is not reported by anyone. Then 59 also and 61 also, it is not reported by other plants. It's reported, but some of the plants which is not reported, we simply so it is not reported. Okay, so in case of 74 also, it is showing that bioactive any molecules, it is not reported from this particular plant. So 83 number also, it is showing that the plant which is not reported for any, you can say, bioactive molecules or any activity throughout the globe. So in this way, the different, all the plants I listed here, you can say we summarized in this particular, you can say, tabulated form. And then if you go to the uses analysis based on the treatment elements, so in that way we just given like dental care, skin care, hair care, eyes, nose, ears, mouth, like that, ENT, then gastro urinary disease, kidney disease, high glucose level, cancer disease, then liver problem, cardiovascular problem, muscular bone problem, respiratory system illnesses, gastrointestinal disease, wound healing, poisonous bites, and general health. So among these all, you can say the medical terms, just you look at. So under that, you can say gastrointestinal disease, which is occupied, you can say, the highest number, where the plants, means the people they are using for the most of the plant for this gastrointestinal diseases. Then if you just look at the data analysis, so under the frequency of the citation, we found that you can say the use report, the curcuma longa, and followed by, you can say, the flusia and the Sidum gojava, which is, you can say, citing by, you can say, the most of the respondents, where the curcuma longa by, you can say, 136 FC, it is highest, you can say, in the frequency of citation. Even in the plant use value, that curcuma longa, it is getting more, you can say, the use value, followed by the same flusia and the Sidum gojava. Then informant consensus factor, if you just look at, so almost our static source, it is very close to like 1, means most of the plant, you can say, the respondent, they, you can say, given the highest, you can say, the value, means the most of the plant they, you can say, used by the most of the response then in our, you can say, the study. Even relative importance and the cultural value, if you just look at here also, in the cultural value, the curcuma longa is you can say occupied the highest, you can say, the percentage. And the relative importance there only, you can say, the Phyllanthus imbicula, which is known as the gooseberry, which is, you can say, showing the highest impact, it means the percentage by the Phyllanthus umbilica. According to our findings, like the women practitioners, like 44%, were the less than the men, 56%. So once because we did both gender, like male and female, where we found the male people, they are practicing more, you can say, the traditional medicine comparing to the female, you can say, the practitioner. Among self-employed farmers account for 58%, 58.5%, business person 34.2%, and the carpenters were 21.4%. The farmers like represented the highest percentage as they often lack like access to the modern healthcare facility due to the various issues like ranging from financial, transportation, and the higher education. These issues force them to rely on the traditional medicine, cultivating and utilizing them more regularly, because in that way it is conserving the that medicinal plants also. Through this study, we observed that young informants like students around 18 to 25 years old have little expertise in the practicing medicine and utilize them rarely as compared to the elder informants. Why it is? Because maybe due to change in the mentality brought by the education to rely on only on the prescribed medicines, which is given by, you can say, the modern doctors. So as a result, the uses of the plant dominated by the plant families were followed and controlled. The work done by some researchers is stating that the greater the plants grew in the study area, the more it will be favorably and commonly used. Large plant families, just like Asteraceae and Euphorbiaceae, were most utilized, while Orchidaceae, Poaceae were underutilized. If you just look at here, Cucurbitaceae, Gingiberaceae become over, you can say, represented high use because of, you can say, the commonly the people they are using this, you can say, the plants as a vegetables also. So thus it implies that the medicinal plants are not selected randomly by the inhabitants of the Mizoram, but are utilized based on their cultural and traditional knowledge. In our study, it is also found that the 6 invasive alien species, most notably like Chromolona odorata and Mycenia macarantha. Mycenia macarantha, that is simply it is known as Japanlo, and this Chromolona odorata, that is known as Dettol plant. So most of the plant, these two plants, basically the people they are using for cut and wounds. Okay, and why it is? Because this particular plant is commonly it is available throughout the, you can say, the Mizoram. Generally, majority of the informants did not consume the medicines prescribed by the doctor prescribed medicine along with their herbal medicines, and they claim that many plants like Saroca and the Cydium, then Mycenia, Plusia, and Eleganus, okay, where rarely effect means very rarely effect means is very highly effective, and most importantly, none of them reported any adverse effect such as like vomiting, headache, nausea, allergic reactions, and skin rashes. Moreover, regarding the expenditure on buying medicines, 38% of the informants usually purchase their herbal medicines either in the raw form. So if you just look at, so most of the previous, you can say, the attempt made by the different, you can say, the scholar researcher compare the use of all medicines plant reported by the informants with the previous papers published for their biological activity or the medicines. According to the study like conducted by the Keki Liogu, okay, it was stated that if the medicinal plants has been reported for the similar use in the other parts of the world, its pharmacological effect could be more easily known. The use of the crude juice like Allium cepa showed a significantly higher, you can say, the higher hair growth rate than the tap water when applied twice a day for the 2 months, which corroborated the present report of the hair regrowth. Then metallothionein and antioxidant protein represents the aloe vera has been reported to have a protective effect against UV and the gamma radiation damage to the skin. It squeezes free radicals by preventing the suppression of the glutathione peroxidase and the superoxide dismutase in the skin. So this validates the use of the aloe vera for the skin care and the burning by the Mizo tribes. Like Dimeria cordata was used as an instant painkiller for the rheumatism, and meanwhile, the scientific study also demonstrated that aqueous whole plant extract exhibited analgesic and antipyretic properties at the dose of 100, 200, and 400 mg, mediated through the peripheral and the central mechanism. And moreover, the curcuma longa was the like mandatory spice that each of the every household kept. It that why the reason use report or medicinal value of the cultural value were high among these all the informants. The state has often been cited as a center for the rare and potential medicinal plant, mostly used as ethnomedicine among the tribes. With little or without modern healthcare system in the far-flung rural area, the tribes of the Mizoram state are still relying on their age-old herbal tradition for treating various ailments of both human and domesticated animals. So in these findings, I found some critical observations like here, the people's for construction of the buildings and for the deforestation for agricultural practices and all. and for, you can say, the industry and some pharmaceutical companies and all, they're cutting lot of the, you can say, the forest. And moreover, even the shifting and the zoom cultivation, we found most of the forests nowadays, they are, you can say, the burning for agricultural practices. Okay, and since it's a tribal state, so most of the northeast region, the people, they doing this shifting and zoom cultivation, because every year they burning, you can say, the forest from one place to another place. So in this way, the most of, you can say, the plants which is, you can say, possessing high, you can say, this medicinal value, day by day becoming endangered, rare, and now is a threatened. Okay, so this biodiversity status, I can say, is like, you can say, it's a threat to the ethnobotany, day by day the people, and in that way most of the plants now is becoming, you can say, the endangered. Okay, so in this way, I'm just telling, most of the, you can say, the plant, even the people, they're doing the adulteration also. So for that conservation, like the tribes and the sacred groups, the people, you can say, so wherever the tribes means, in that case, even in the Mizoram, I can say, though the people, they're doing human, you can say, the shifting cultivation, but there is some reasons where now, you can say, with the some community forest, they conserving, you can say, the forest. And moreover, the sacred groups, especially in the northeast, like Meghalaya, it is like more sacred groups are there, where the peoples, they conserving more forest. Even in this case, I just shown you here, I'm not going by the line by line, but here it is shown in this case study, like in some sacred, you can say, the forest, the whatever the plants which is available in the sacred forest, and the plant which is cultivated, domesticated in the means a dense populated area, that, you can say, the plants which is in the sacred groups, it is showing more, you can say, the potency comparing to the plants which is in the city area. Here in the Tanzania also, it is shows the plants which is, you can say, growing in the sacred groups, which is showing more, you can say, the bioactive molecules and the potency against the different diseases, comparing to the place which is in, means growing in the cities area. And especially in the Mizoram, there is one, you can say, the NGO, the social NGO, that is called YMA, which is protecting, you can say, the lot, the different kinds of the plants, even the plants which is not run by, you can say, means not protecting by the government, that this social, you can say, that NGO YMA, it is protecting by marking this tricolor on the plants. So here in this particular, you can say, this village in this Riek and this Jotlang, okay, the people from there onwards, you can say, they means when the people, they found this particular, you can say, the plants, day by day, that people, they're coming and cutting from the, you can say, the forest, then they started, you can say, the community, you can say, conservation, and along with the YMA, they starting, you can say, conserving these medicinal plants in their, you can say, the habitat. Okay, so here also in the Karanga, people, they are also, you can say, they're conserving these medicinal plants in their natural state. The totem and taboo, this is also very important. The people, by giving this some kind of the symbols, they're protecting these ethnomedicinal plants. Even especially, I know some of the northeast region, the Meghalaya, Mizoram, some of the plants, even if you're going to touch, there is some kind of, you can say, the symbol, then, or maybe the some tradition, you have, even if you want to collect the some plant leaf, rhizome, or maybe the root, you have to do some kind of the traditional practice. You have to kneel down, you have to follow, you touch your forehead to collect that plant. So in that way, the people, they're giving some kind of, you can say, the threat. If you just collect it simply without offering your, you can say, the prayer, then something will happen to you. So in that way, the people, they giving this kind of, you can say, the symbol for protecting this particular plant. So it is very important for that conservation. Okay, so in this, I just highlighted, since various tribes have the well-established traditional medicine practice in India, therefore it is urgent need to do the scientific validation of ethno formulation for the development of the herbal medicines and conservation of the ethno medicine through the in situ and ex situ method for the sustainable utilization. Most importantly, we have to aware the young and youth generation about the importance of the ethnobotany, so that they can explore more about ethnomedicine, which led further to develop a new pharmacore in the northeast region, as well as in the country or the global level. A basic idea must be provided to students for each discipline, so that they can understand the importance of this traditional knowledge. Due to rapid change in the city area of all the state of the India, people are bound to use synthetic medicines, which causes a lot of changes in their daily life. Till now, most of the plants they are using, but they don't know the proper role or the benefit of these plants. The information generated from the present study need to thorough, you can say, through the phytochemical investigation, including the extraction and isolation of the possible active constituent and the subsequent clinical trials. In addition, there is an urgent need to contribute to the preservation and enrichment of the gene bank of the such economically important species before they are lost forever. Activities relating to the conservation of known medicinal plants need to be carried out, and intensive care needs to be taken for the red list species. Researchers have suggested the cultivation of the ethnomedicinal plants in the herbal garden, agroforestry system, and some gardens to encourage their sustainable utilization and hence conservation. Proper regulations need to be followed by the industrial approach in conservation of the collected plants. Moreover, conservation strategies have to be taken care by upcoming educated younger education generation, local inhabitants supported by the government and the non-government agency for future survival of the such precious knowledge. Thank you. Thank you for listening my, you can say, the talk. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Awadhesh. Any questions for him?